Hello and welcome graded students to our second video this week. Reading skills, cite textual evidence. Please turn your literary companion on page 264 to 265 and make sure you have your book and a pen ready. The learning objectives for today are: first, know how to cite textual evidence from the text. And second, complete a chart with evidence that supports the change in text. Let us have first a quick review of the literary selection Dark They Were and Golden-Eyed. Harry Bittering and his family are among the first 1,000 Earthmen to move to Mars for the purpose of colonizing it. Mr. Bittering feels out of place and very uneasy that he wants his family to return to Earth with him. He noticed subtle changes occurring on Mars. Roses turn green, cows grow third horn, and lawn seed sprouts purple instead of green. Bittering wants to leave Mars before strange things happen to him. However, his spaceship is never used. For the Bittering as well as the other Earthmen also begin to change. Their color, their bone structure, their complexion, and even the language. In short, these Earthmen became Martians. Years later, another new ship travels through space, and its mission is to serve the Earthmen stranded on Mars. They were surprised that there were no Earthmen found, only Martians, with a great affinity of the English language. Let's move on to the lesson proper. Cite textual evidence. Please turn your book on these pages. When you answer questions or share your opinion about something you've read, cite textual evidence to support your statement. There are two ways to do this. First, you can paraphrase the text by restating it in your own words. Second, you can also quote the text directly, word for word. When you quote the text in writing, you must put quotation marks around the writer's words to show that they are not your own. Paraphrasing is useful when a passage is very long or in cases when you do not have enough space to quote the text directly. However, when it's possible, directly quoting a message or the text may support your opinion and answer more strongly than paraphrasing. Read this excerpt from the text Dark They Were and Golden-Eyed by Ray Bradbury. Now imagine you were asked to write about how Mr. Bittering feels in this excerpt. You would probably say that he's afraid. If you were asked to cite evidence from the text to support your answer, what would you say? This chart shows two ways that you can cite the text in writing. Type of citation. Paraphrase. The text evidence. The author describes Mr. Bittering as sweating heavily and worrying that there is no way back to Earth. These details show that Mr. Bittering is fearful. As per direct quotation, the author shows that Mr. Bittering is afraid by describing a common physical sign of fear. Sweating poured from his face and his body and his hands, and he was drenched in the hardness of his fear. Let us practice and apply. Read this excerpt from Dark They Were and Golden-Eyed, then complete the chart with evidence that supports the idea that things on Mars are changing. Please take time to read and answer. Here are some possible answers. For paraphrasing, Dan shows his family that the cow is growing an extra horn. This is a strange and unexpected occurrence. For direct quotation, the family sees a strange sign that things are changing. They stood in the shed and looked at their one cow, and it was growing a third horn. 2. We read a scene in which Mr. Bittering talks to some men on the steps of the grocery store. Then, paraphrase the evidence that shows how Mr. Bittering feels about the man. And number 3, quote evidence from the story that shows a connection between the wind and the idea of change. Please take time to answer these following questions. Here are some possible answers. In summary, paraphrasing is restating the evidence in your own words. And one way to cite textual evidence is to quote the text directly to support your opinion and answer more strongly than paraphrasing. I hope that you learned something today. If you do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.